No,
because
and it really says a lot because, like I said, you're the culinary team of the structure is so on point. Like you guys, whenever I because I've been there a couple of times, even when I wasn't competing, I used to just go there to watch. And it's so structured, you know what I mean? You can tell everybody know what they're doing. You can tell everybody, you know what I mean? It's like a team effort. Sometimes you see some teams and they're all over the place. You guys are always, you know, together, and you're always making sure they support each other. And you know what I mean? And I really enjoyed watching the culinary team showcasing their skills. And I can't remember, but I know they won a lot of medals every year. They win a lot of medals. You know what I mean? And I think I was thinking to myself, even today, and I spoke to a chef recently, and he was saying the same thing. Like the Bayesian culinary landscape is more advanced than a lot of other Caribbean countries. You know what I mean? And I want to know, is it why? I don't know if you feel the same, first of all, but what would you say is a strength that you've seen in the Bayesian team that you haven't seen anywhere else?
Well, you know, obviously it's a Bajan.
Yes.
So I gotta rap Bajan strong.
Definitely.
And to be honest, right, I think, you know, we always say that we're the culinary capital of the Caribbean. And yeah, 246, I don't know. I think that the reason I think that we have that pride and we have that feeling is because I think a lot of the guys work hard. And I would say is the work ethic, is the drive and the push to, you know, if you want to be the best, you just can't say you're the best.
No.
I mean, there's always going to be challengers. There's always going to be people that will try to deny the fact that, you know, well, it might be Barbados or it might be Trinidad or it might be Jamaica. But I think one of the things that I would say is the drive and the passion to, you know, represent your country, the pride to have to be a Bajan and to want to put Barbados on the map. So I think, you know, a lot of the guys like really take it serious because it has a prestige. So wear the culinary jacket for Barbados. It comes with prestige. And I think that a lot of chefs, what they try to do is, you know, work really hard to get to that level. And I think even a lot of chefs that are not on the team that would not be in the limelight, I think a lot of the guys, man, have a lot of knowledge, you know.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of experience that even though they're not out there, it still gives a good cultural representation for when tourists comes into like certain hotels and certain establishments that we have a lot of good chefs on island. So I just think it has to do with the drive, the passion. And I think one of the things I would say too is the connoisseurs and the legends before us. So you will got the guys like, as you will hear me mention, Butcher a lot because he was one of the guys that would have been training the team for quite some time. And he was one of the guys that when you look at a culinary team, to be honest, people just see like 4 or 5 people. But really and truly, sometimes you have a culinary team where it's like 15, 20 people strong.
Really?
Everyone doesn't compete. Everyone is not like on the culinary side. You got people working the logistics side. You got people working the paperwork. So, I mean, it's so much different things that are moving. But then when you have the influence of this guy being a leader at one hotel. So, for example, you had the culinary team where it was myself, Nicholas Eiffel, Andre, well, it's me, Nikki, Andre. You had Kiara, you had Javon Cummings, you had Damian Lee, you had, who else? You had Deshaun, and I mean, you had Shamar Bishop, and all of these guys I'm calling, majority of the guys would either had a middle or top level position in an establishment.
Right.
The thing was, no 2 chefs work at the same establishment. So imagine all of these names are at different establishments and they're learning as they come to training and then giving that education or that understanding, that training, that exposure onto the chefs in their brigade. So the trickle effect is that the Barbados culinary team gives you the knowledge, they plant the seeds, you nurture it, you go back to your hotel, you go back to your restaurant, you go back to your bar, and then you spread that knowledge that you learn. Then it also brings up the country, like, because when you look at it from now till even 5 years back,
Right.
there's always different members on the culinary team. So there's always different hotels, always different restaurants, always different places that are getting the training, maybe secondhand, but you're still getting that training from the chefs that would have been there. So then it kind of brings up the bar. So now, you know, we used to do something, but hey guys, look, we did this at training, and let's try it and see if it enhances the flavor. Let's try and see if it makes sense. Then you do it and you say, yo, that's cool. So now you pass that knowledge on to somebody that's passing it on to the next person. So then it has that trickle effect. So I think for me, that is one of the reasons why, you know, I would say we are the culinary capital. You know what I mean? Barbados.
Like I said, I'm not even going to fight that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to fight it. I really, like, everything you're saying is actually, you know, coinciding with what I'm thinking in my mind, because there has to be a very, 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 very good structure to make y'all be able to execute so well. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been there, but I've never been to your country before, but I am planning on taking a trip soon. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Because I want to experience each culture in each country, because that's what's going to help us to grow. You know what I mean? And growth is important in everybody's life, especially for me.
PastryBeartv.